Hello everybody, July is in full swing. Let's do the daily target on CSSBattle.dev right now. Isn't that cute? That is some cute business right there. All right. So what do we got? We've got, I guess it's a bar graph basically. What's interesting about a bar graph like this is that this is the kind of thing I've built for real. I have built timelines that really do this. In this case, I'm just going to use the pieces and parts. So if I do border solid color and then do border width 0, 0, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, then I can get that bar graph, right? Like that's a thing that I can do. Let's set these margins. But this would not be accessible, right? Like you would like to create real things, and I know that's not really what we do here. Is the kind of thing that has to really function in web browsers and work on a phone and then work for someone who's got a different set of abilities with regards to their vision or anything like that. So, as fun as this is, like, there's actually some nice stuff that you can do in browsers to really create these things. And so, I don't want to take it too seriously, but I guess I am. That's kind of what I do. It's all good. 30, 20, 30, 40, 42. All right. So here's what I've got so far. So is there a mechanism to turn that? I guess we've got an X and Y axis. So we got the line. What do I need to do for each one of these elements? I find myself just as to be obstinate and to be, kind of a troublemaker. What if I do it the right way and say, if I could set an attribute, so the data height equals 100, and then data height equals 120, data height, and of course this is terrible practice. Like this is not what we do, but this is how you would actually do it, right? So let's do a display flex. And unfortunately we've got we're immediately going to run into some problems here. So I think nested template is probably not the way to go. So what do we need? Do I have a quote mark there? That's a problem. What if we actually properly create this HTML? What do we get? Well, let's move our style. Oops, hello. Up here. So we are definitely doing something wrong here. Data dash height equals. Oh no, we need a closing style tag. And yet we're still getting. So let's do body. And let's do HTML. And that is still working correctly. All right, and now we don't see these paragraph elements, right? So let's create P, background red, width 30. All right, gap. No, so the gap is going to be right here, gap 30 pixels. All right, so we're kind of getting the idea. Margin 0. All right, so I've inadvertently done something interesting. Like this is all not the kind of thing that we really do here. Okay, I'm going to move that back because I think I sorted out whatever issue that I had with the data or with the tags. So, okay. So what do I need to do next? Probably margins on the side. 20, 0, 0, 20. And then what if I remove this gap? Okay. So again, so then what I want to do is what? Height is ATTR attractive? I don't know why that's auto-completing that. Data dash height. So in theory, this is how you would do it. The reality is that let's see. Let's see if I do it with pixels, it'll work. No, unfortunately not. And that's unfortunate because so this is limitation in the Chrome browser. This is something that's coming down the pike, but in theory, you should be able to access the attribute values in an element and use them in CSS. Not implemented well enough in browsers yet, but it is coming. But not something that's in the Chromium backend that CSS Battle uses, which is fine. That's, you know, this is obviously a a silly to some extent case. So, but we've got A, B, and C. Let's put some attributes on here to really create this. Okay. So height, we will make a variable of a dash h, and then 50 or something. And I guess we need to do a justify align items end. Yeah, so align items end puts things on the bottom baseline. And so then if I set B to be a slightly different number, I can set height and go 100. And there it is. So this in principle is the thing we've got, and I think it's time to stop using red as the color. All right, so let's adjust these. I want to say 25, 30. And then the width is 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Oh, and we got a problem because these margins are not what we want them to be. 80, and we've got a stretchiness problem. So I think that, so this is a 30. What if we just do margin 0? And then do this in the container. So we want to do a padding 0, 0, 0, 20. So I'm moving things around. Okay, so now we got that. That width is too wide. So let's actually let's measure. So we go from here, which is what, 80, and here, which is what, 140. So it's really 60 wide. And we will add a gap. 20 pixels. And is that correct? No, it's 30 pixels, I think. So we zeroed out the margin, so we're not going to try and use margins for this. We're actually we're using display flex and a gap in the correct way, the same way one would do it on a real web page. All right, so B needs to be taller. Is it 200 tall? And then the default is a little taller, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 120, 130, 140. And then C dash H is it's shorter than the default, and the default is 140. Let's call it 100. Yeah, okay, I guessed right. So yeah, so this is actually the kind of thing that I would actually put into a real website. Is it good code? I think in this case it's pretty good. You might find it, I mean, obviously this is not the way to win and have the best score in a CSS battle. But let's submit. I've already minified it, which is probably don't do that. Yeah, but that's 100% match. I don't think I have any units that will reduce. Yeah, I don't. Also, I don't need the A attribute because I already set a default. If I undo this margin, I'm gonna get a problem there. So I still need that margin of 0. What else can I do? I think border width, I can set just numbers and not use the units. I need the align items, and if I didn't use that and just set things, I could set up like a linear gradient or a border to have this top color. What else? Let's resubmit, and that's a final answer. I enjoyed thinking about this one as real code, as code that I would put out into the world. It's been a long time since we've had one where like, oh, this is the kind of thing that someone might ask me to build. Like, now they might say, hey, you know what, for that high one, set that background to green, since we're so happy with that number, since that's bigger. Or, hey, we don't like that, let's make that red because that's a bad number. Or, whatever the real meaning of those numbers is. Super fun. Thanks for watching. I didn't think I was going to be talking about attributes and how they can be used in CSS today, but that is something for your CSS toolkit to think about. Have a great day. Get out of here. Go make a web page. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. And yeah, be careful out there.